Detachment, an essential subject from Vinipedia. One takes to spiritual matters when one realizes that there is more to this world than just what we can physically see and comprehend. In order for one to even reach this stage, one needs God's mercy. After reading scriptures and obtaining the transcendental knowledge from them, one should be able to understand that detachment from worldly affairs and attachment to spirituality, devotional service to Lord Krishna and Guru, is the only way that one can progress spiritually and ultimately achieve his goal of going back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, the key is total detachment from this material world. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinicote's detachment category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 9 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. Impersonal spiritual detachment is more difficult than attaching the mind to the activities of Krishna. This is practical because by hearing about Krishna one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. This attachment is called paranubhati, spiritual satisfaction. It is just like the feeling of satisfaction a hungry man has for every morsel of food he eats. Bhagavad Gita 6.35. In the first process, Eskaya, one has to become detached from matter, and in the devotional yoga process one has to attach himself to the work of Krishna consciousness. Factually, both processes are the same, although superficially one process appears to involve detachment and the other process appears to involve attachment. Detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna are one and the same. Bhagavad Gita 5.5. A blazing fire is visible by its exhibition of heat and light. Similarly, when the living entity within the heart becomes enlightened with full spiritual knowledge and detached from the material world, he burns up his material covering of the 5 elements earth, water, fire, air and sky and becomes free from the 5 kinds of material attachments, namely ignorance, false egoism, attachment to the material world, envy and absorption in material consciousness. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.22. 26. A detached person naturally prefers to live in a secluded place. He does not eat more than what he requires, and he controls the activities of his body and mind. He has no false ego because he does not accept the body as himself. Nor has he a desire to make the body fat and strong by accepting so many material things. Because he has no bodily concept of life, he is not falsely proud. He is satisfied with everything that is offered to him by the grace of the Lord, and he is never angry in the absence of sense gratification. Bhagavad Gita 18.5153. A person who is very eager to accept sannyasa, who is detached from worldly activities, who has no desire for any kind of material facilities, and who is thus saved from repeated birth and death is known as Rama. When a sannyas lives in a beautiful, solitary place in the forest and is freed from all material desires, he is called Vana. A sannyas who always lives in the forest and renounces all connection with the world in order to be elevated to the heavenly planets, where he can live in the Nandana Kainana, is called Arya. Kaitanya Karatam Ta, Madhya LL 6.73. Knowledge means to know that the mission of the human form of life is to end all the miseries of material existence and that in spite of having to fulfill the bodily necessities in a regulated way, one must be detached from such animal life. Fulfilling the demands of the body is animal life, and fulfilling the mission of spirit soul is the human mission. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.3. 19. The JNS, by culture of Brahma Vidhi, spiritual knowledge, struggle very hard to get out of the clutches of material nature, but a devotee, by dint of his advancement in devotional service, automatically becomes detached from his material body. When the devotee's spiritual body begins to manifest, he actually enters into his activities in transcendental life. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.23. 11. The whole process of spiritual culture is aimed at changing the heart of the living being in the matter of his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord as subordinate servant, which is his eternal constitutional position. So with the progress of devotional service, the reaction of change in the heart is exhibited by gradual detachment from the sense of material enjoyment by a false sense of lording it over the world and an increase in the attitude of rendering loving service to the Lord. Armad Bh Gavatam 2.324. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of the bhakti cult, with the application of positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and he becomes attached to superior things. Armad BH Gavatam 1.2. 7.